Welcome back, friends. Hope you're having a good week this week. We're finally getting some much needed rain. Appreciate that. And as you can tell from my shirt and my hat, both the Detroit Tigers and the Blue Jays are in the playoffs. I didn't want to choose, so I have both of them on because they play today, and I am cheering both of them on. My own personal hope is they would both advance and then get to play each other in the pennant, because the longer we get to have the teams that are near and dear to those of us here in the playoffs, the better off it is, I think. Maybe not everybody appreciates that, but that's where I'm at right now. I hope you enjoyed this last Sunday. It was full, to say the least. We had our puppet ministry taking off, and it was fun. It was exciting. We're going to continue to build on that effort, try to incorporate some musical elements and a bit more interaction. We also, of course, had communion because it was World Communion Sunday. I wanted to say a little bit about the significance for me of World Communion. Growing up in a tradition that would not have been considered liturgically framed, I didn't have a sense of the connection to other Christian communities all over the world. I didn't get the sense that what we were doing was being done in some way in so many other places. But when we get to celebrate communion together, and we know that many other communities all over the world are doing the same thing, it makes it extra special. So I hope this last Sunday, our communion observance, even if you were at home and you had to get your own juice or wine or bread or whatever it was you used, I hope you were able to appreciate that effort as well, and the connection that we have to both past, future, present, global, regional. It's an exciting Sunday, and I'm so grateful that we were able to participate in it fully and introduce the kids to the fullness of a communion observance. During my sermon, I talked about this need for connection and relationship that is exemplified by the Samaritan woman and Jesus, whom we had approached last Sunday, the Sunday before, for our Truth and Reconciliation Sunday. So we were in that same passage. But this last Sunday, I focused on the testimony offered by the Samaritan woman, specifically the way that testimony impacted the members of her community, and how they themselves wanted to go and encounter this person that had effected such a transformative experience for her. They wanted to go and see for themselves, and upon doing so, asked Jesus to stay for a while and get some respite and teach them, share with them what this eternal life, this living water was all about. I don't know all of what Jesus actually said, but I presume it was transformative for them as well. As my friend and colleague Kenny said the week before, Jesus makes treaty. Jesus builds covenant right then and there and reestablishes a new way of being together, a way that was denied to the Samaritans and the Jews, who never crossed each other's path, certainly did not engage in any form of communication. And so the people of the community, once they spend time with Jesus, tell the Samaritan woman who had first shared with them about this encounter that at first we listened and we observed and we acknowledged it because of your testimony, but now we ourselves have heard. And in the service, I tried to make a good bit about how our faith, and by that I mean the faith that you and I might have, is unique to us in some ways. Now, we have a shared, let's say, language, shared set of symbols. There are vehicles that we use to speak and to travel our life together as a community of faith. But we also have certain experiences in our life that are particular to each of us. And it is my contention that you have to be claimed in a special way by your faith, right? You have to have your own personal connection, or else it will pass away and fall into the tumbler like everything else does in our fast-paced lives. I mentioned, of course, in New England how the early Congregationalists set up a halfway covenant to deal with this very problem, because they had people who had experiences, but then their children, the next generation, weren't having as many of those experiences, or they were having different experiences, and they needed to find a way to provide membership opportunities for the next generation. So they introduced a halfway covenant. And I made a joke, but it was serious too, that perhaps they had to do a quarter covenant and an eighth covenant, though those aren't mentioned in history classes. The point being, each generation has to translate and effectively engage a faith, or else it is meaningless, it is irrelevant, it belongs in the dustbin. So I think we are in that situation as the United Church and at First St. Andrews. We are very aware that we are being reformatted, translated anew, incarnated freshly for the world in which we live, which is not the world of 70 years ago or 50 years ago or even 20 years ago. We live where we do here in 2025 and are called to respond uniquely to the situations and the cries of our own time. And I believe seeing the way these treaty opportunities to build right relation and reestablish relationship are an important teaching for us going forward. Because we're not going to be able to rely on the structures of the past, or maybe even some of the beliefs of the past, the practices of the past, as we try to respond to things that are happening around us and in the world right now. So I hope that you began to wrestle with that upon hearing my reflection on Sunday and experiencing our service, because that is what I am calling everybody to do, to take responsibility for your engagement and your connection to this faith that claims us all, because by doing so together we are a stronger community. We are blessed with energy and vitality for the world that is, as well as the world to come. So I thank you for spending time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you all the next time. However, just a quick note for those of you that are watching this, I'm not going to be here this coming Sunday. I will be spending time with family in the United States, so please pray for me. I will make it back, God willing, safe and sound, early next week. So I'll be with you that following weekend. But this coming Sunday, the amazing Reverend Karen Lowe will be with you for Thanksgiving weekend. And look forward to hearing about it and to seeing you when I return. Thank you.